Small Business Resource Center. What we'll do is real quickly go over our agenda for our call today. We'll do a introduction of what it is we're talking about. We'll break it down into its parts so that we understand completely what this Small Business Resource Center is. We'll talk about why we're doing it from a variety of perspectives. We'll do a product demo. We'll go through the Small Business Resource Center. We won't touch everything. Obviously, there's a lot in there, but we'll hit on the key features and allow you to go out and peruse yourself. We'll talk about roadmap, what it is we're doing with this product, where we're going with it. We'll talk about the communications with this being a new product, how it is we're communicating this out to everybody. And then finally, we'll talk about contacts. If there's an issue or a question or anything after our call today, how it is you can get support for the Small Business Resource Center. So introduction. So starting last year, we embarked on a plan to develop a platform where we can help our policyholders become better and safer business operators, while at the same time strengthening our market position as premier small business specialist. And so what we want to do is help small business owners answer questions they regularly ask themselves. And so we did a fair amount of research last year, went into this, and so these are just some ideas of things that small business owners ask themselves on a regular basis, and how we've kind of grouped them together into these subject areas. And so we'll kind of look at how that applies to the Small Business Resource Center. But really what we're trying to do here is help small business owners become better and safer business operators. And so with that, we introduced the Small Business Resource Center, powered by Employers, as a new online destination for our policyholders, which provides them the latest information to help them manage and grow their business. But what's important is this isn't just another business advice website, and we'll talk about why it's unique in a little bit. And it's not about insurance either, right? Employers is an insurance company, but the Small Business Resource Center isn't about insurance. We'll talk about what that means here in a minute. So breaking it down, we said the Small Business Resource Center was an online destination. It provides class-targeted information and educational content for small businesses. And so we'll break that down into its parts, what we mean by online destination, class-targeted content, and for small businesses. So first, we say online destination. It is a website. It can be reached by using the URL sbrc.employers.com. That's not necessarily easy to remember. So we also have, we'll be having a link on employers.com right at the top of the homepage for a Small Business Resource Center as kind of a backup. We also have some shortcuts, and we talk about that class-targeted content. We have some branded subdomains, and we'll go into those in a little bit. But it is a website designed for desktop, tablet, and mobile, so it can be accessed anywhere, anytime. And because it is a website and we're providing content, obviously we can take advantage of digital content. So we've got a number of things out there. We have articles, infographics, and explainer videos today. And we'll be looking at some of these other opportunities, webinars, gamification, and surveys as we move forward. But this online destination gives us an ability to communicate with small businesses in a way we have not done previously. So let's talk about class targeted for a second. So what we're trying to do is design content that reaches our customers in a way that's meaningful to them. That is, if I'm in the food and beverage industry, I want content that's going to help me run my restaurant, bar, catering business, whatever it is. I want information that's going to help me run my business. And so we've created these business segments, basically groups of classes where these businesses have similar operating styles and business challenges. And so the first two class-targeted business segments we're going to launch with are food and beverage and the retail segment. So these two business segments encompass a fair number of our customers. And again, we didn't go so narrow as to say we're only going to develop content for example, supermarkets, right? So these are all retail establishments that have, again, similar operating styles, similar business challenges around those areas we talked about at the beginning of the presentation around operations, customers, employees, and money. They have similar challenges, and we'll show some examples of that in a little bit. We also created one as a kind of a catch-all because we're not launching with enough business segments to cover all of our customers. So we've got one called Small Business that delves into some general small business topics so that we're able to cover 100% of our policyholders. So we talk about information and educational content. What does that mean? So when we were developing our strategy coming out of last year, we looked at what do small business owners, what are they looking for in terms of information? Again, we talked about that class-targeted content. They want stuff that relates to them. They want it to be engaging, concise was a big point because small business owners don't have a lot of time to spend trying to figure out how to make their business better. They're so busy operating the business, so we want to make sure it's concise, relevant, and convenient, right? This is content that's accessible 24/7. And this is original content, so we have not purchased this content from some third party. We've actually worked with a number of agencies to develop content that relates to these small businesses, and we've commissioned authors and people who work in the industries that we'll be writing about and developing content for, just for the Small Business Resource Center. So this is content that small business owners won't be able to find anywhere else. And so we talk about the small business, what do we mean? And so we kind of have two groups of small businesses. We have the people who are not, the businesses who are not employers, customers today, or prospects, and for our policyholders, those who are. And so how do we address both of those with a product? So the first is for prospects. All the content that's going to be in the Small Business Resource Center is searchable via search engines, via Google and others. So somebody who is searching the internet, looking for information about how to better run their business, some challenge that they're facing, will hopefully find one of our articles through search and be exposed to the employer's brand perhaps for the first time by searching and viewing our content, again, as it relates to their business challenge. And then what we'll do is we'll offer them the content for a limited time and be able to see that content until they reach a point where we'll simply ask them for their email address so that we can follow up with them and talk about our insurance product with them. Because what we want to do is create value around the product, not just in the content, but in the access for our policyholders. So from a policyholder perspective, what we're doing is creating a value-added service. So all the content for all our policyholders will be free. They'll be able to search the content, view the content, read the content, share the content as a policyholder as much as they want. And their login will take place using their e-access username. And we'll talk about that in a little bit when we demo. So why are we doing this, right? We said part of our agenda was describing why we're doing this. So from the small business owner's perspective, why is it important to them? Well, they can learn how to improve their business, right? We talked about industry-specific content. Concise content, we talked about that as a strategy item. Engaging content for preoccupied business owners. Original content they can't get anywhere else. And it's a free resource as a employer's policyholder. This is something they can get access to at any time. From the employer's perspective, why are we doing this? Well, of course, we look at this from a sales, marketing, and agent perspective. And so, for one, this creates a new value-added product to take to the market. So this is an opportunity on new conversations around employers and the value we bring in our expertise in the small business market. It's a competitive differentiator. So many of our competitors, or some of our competitors rather, have blogs where they talk about general business information. But this is a differentiator in that we're offering this class-targeted information, right? This is, and again, it's not about insurance. It's about helping them better run their business. And so we identify this as a competitive differentiator in our market. Creates brand stickiness. So not only are we offering policyholders this continual brand awareness around the value employers offers, but because they're getting something valuable out of it, makes it just something more that they're getting for their insurance dollar, creates stickiness. And then it creates increased leads to our agents because we're doing that, making this available to prospects via search engines. We're collecting that lead information and filtering that down to our agents through our territory managers. So this is definitely a benefit for our sales organization. One other thing that came up recently as I was working with some of our agency councils was, from a sales and particularly an agent perspective, is the ability to share the content. We'll get into that into the demo where there's ability to socially share it and have agencies be able to use the content in the Small Business Resource Center in their marketing efforts. All right, so with that, let me show you guys what the Small Business Resource Center is. And so this is the homepage, sbrc.employers.com. On this page here, we are driving people to look at the content, browse the content. This isn't a library. It's more a news or news magazine type feel where we invite people to browse content. And so we give them a number of ways to do that. They can scroll through the website. We have some highlighted articles here that they can look at. You see we have them categorized by our business segments, the first being food and beverage, retail, small business. And again, I can scroll through these and look at some highlighted content. I can click on any of these to go read or view. At the top of the page here, I can also just go directly to my industry up at the top here as well. So again, it's designed with browsing in mind, a lot like a news website might be. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click on one of these industries. We'll click on food and beverage. And so we notice a couple things, right? So this is targeted, right? I'm seeing imagery around food and beverage, same with retail, small business, and others that we'll develop. But we notice here at the top, this navigation, where top stories, operations, customers, employees, right? These are those topic areas we talked about at the top of the presentation, where all of our industries will have this similar type of content around operations, customers, employees, money. We added one here for workers' comp that deals with things like workplace safety, understanding workers' comp insurance and their industry. But that's, again, not a focus area. We're trying to help them better run their business. So we included that as helpful information here, but really want to take a holistic approach to helping them better run their business. So as we scroll this page, we see some highlighted articles, opportunities to scroll and look for content, and just trying to highlight content, banner ads, not banner ads, I'm sorry, but call outs for holidays or special events that may be taking place. We'll keep that updated. So again, I can click on any of this as a user, or I can navigate into one of these topic areas. So here I clicked on operations and I start narrowing down. These are articles only dealing with food and beverage operations. Click on an article. And so we see here I can read this article. There's links here to some outside resources toward the bottom, taking me to another article, or in this case a video. I can click on that and navigate. We talked about, briefly, the advantages for the sales teams and agents is this ability to share content, right? So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, much like other websites, you click on that link, it opens up your LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter page, share it out there, as can the policyholders with their networks. And so, again, we can browse this content, go go to a different area here. What I want to do is show you all what happens for a prospect who is not a policyholder, who is not signed in. What ends up happening is they receive what the industry calls a paywall. That we see that in a lot of news and periodical websites. We're not in that business, in the business of getting subscriptions like they are, but we do want to have a conversation around our workers' comp product. So if somebody is interested in this content and wants to keep viewing content, they simply provide their email address, click the sign up, and they're allowed to continue browsing the content. If I'm an employer's customer, and this applies to both our policyholders and our agents, I can click on this customer sign-in. And now the paywall is gone. Now I can see all the content. I can browse it all. You see at the top here, it has my username for our agents and policyholders will actually be their name versus this J. Rogers. So that's logging in. We also have a search capability where I can search for content across the Small Business Resource Center. So my search for point of sale, I got stuff in food and beverage, retail, small business. I can filter that content by industry, by category. However I want to be looking for content, if I happen to be looking for something in particular. And again, we talked about all the different business segments having a similar look and feel, so I changed the industry here to retail, and we see similar look and feel. We talked about video content. Here we have in the middle, it says video tips for hiring great retail employees. We have video content available out there as well. So I invite you guys and our agents and to your policyholders to check out those videos. They're pretty engaging. Real quick, what I want to show you before we wrap up here is how to actually log in. Or I showed you this login screen, but real quickly, if this is the first time you as our agents or your policyholders have been here, what we want to do is click this first time here link. And what it's going to do, it's going to ask for e-access username. You simply provide that, click go. We'll get a screen here that says that we've sent an email. And then what we get is an email indicating first-time user. Welcome to Small Business Resource Center. Please click here to create your password. And so once we click this, create a password, we're in. So I think that's it. Like I said, in terms of the product demo here, again, when you sign in, you will use your e-access username. This applies to both anybody at all of our agency contacts that have access to e-access, or the policyholders as well. Use this same first time here, same login process. All right, let's quickly go back, talk about roadmap, what it is where we're headed with this, so we can not only so you can be aware of what's coming, but as you're talking to policyholders who may be interested in this, or potential prospective policyholders who might be interested in this, they get an idea of what's coming. So the content that's out there today is just our starting point. We'll be producing new original content continuously. We'll have new stuff out there on a weekly basis for all of our industries. We'll be adding new industries regularly. So we've already started work on our next one. That'll be out. That'll be available roughly in January. And we're kind of hoping to keep a quarterly cadence of adding these new industries. We're in the process now of developing concept around success stories. So all the content that's out there today is it's engaging, it's practical in nature. but what we're looking for is something that can also inspire small business owners, stories of hope, of wisdom, of inspiration, just something that kind of talks to some ways that other small businesses have overcome adversity or found success, whatever it is, and stories told from their perspectives. So we're looking at doing some of those. We're looking at webinars hosted by industry experts. So through the course of doing a lot of this content development, we've been introduced and met a lot of people who are experts in the industry, whether it's on the operations side, on the marketing side, whatever it is. And so we're talking to them about presenting material in a webinar format, interactive with our Small Business Resource Center users, and a lot more. We've got some features we're looking at adding to the platform in addition to some other content. So we're pretty excited about not only what we're launching with today, but also where we're headed with this in the future. So in terms of the launch, we did a soft launch with a segment of our policyholders a week before last. We've been getting some great response from that, made some changes both in our communications and the platform. So we are fully ready to launch this tomorrow to everybody, to all of our policyholders and agents and partners nationwide. So we've produced some collateral that will be going out to you all, a flyer and some other talking points. We'll be making changes to our corporate website to talk about the Small Business Resource Center, and our social media manager will also be putting content out there because I know a lot of our agents follow us on social media. And then tomorrow we'll be sending out email announcements to all of our agents, all of our partners, all of our policyholders, talking about what the Small Business Resource Center is, what it is that we are, how to get access to it, questions around access or any other problems, those kind of things, ideas, making sure that our announcement includes everything to be able to understand what this Small Business Resource Center is and how to use it. So if there are issues using the Small Business Resource Center, we invite you to use our customer support organization, our call center, for login issues, how-to information, if there's an issue where the website's not available, even product suggestions and ideas. Our customer support organization is set up to handle all those, and where appropriate, they either solve the problem or address the issue right there, or escalate to me and my team to take a look at and see what we can do to help out. So this contact information will go out as part of the release. So we'll make sure everybody's aware of how to get help. So how do we get access? So kind of recapping here, sbrc.employers.com. You can either browse content and wait for the paywall, or click that SBRC sign-in link at the top of the page. As a first-time user, click that first-time user link, and then use your e-access email to get registered. I think that's about it. As I look at our agenda, the Small Business Resource Center is an important part of our offering now, and so we need all of you, our agency partners, to highlight this as a new value add with our policyholders and prospective policyholders. So we're real excited about this and want to help you guys be successful with it. If you have any questions about positioning following this presentation or our announcement tomorrow, please reach out to your territory managers who'll be more than happy to help you with that. And thank you for attending today, and good selling. Thanks.